And we are live. Welcome to the process. It is Friday, January 27th. I am Josh Engleman, here to break down the 5-game NBA slate that we are going to have today. Excited to do it. Little tired, not going to lie, but we're going to make it through. It's going to be fine. Got to let you guys know this. Got a hard out today. Got to be done by 7:30. I got to head out, go to the gym. Had to move some things around because I am now on the Friday NBA strategy show. So got to be quick for today. Luckily, we only have a 5-gamer. Make sure that you guys are hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, hitting the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Tricky night for me last night, folks. I had a really big one. It was dangerously close to being the ultimate big one, unfortunately for me, but fortunate for Stokastic as a whole. The head honcho around these parts, that would be Tom, not Alex, took down the 100K last night on DraftKings, edging out a bunch of Stokastic avatars, including my own. Evidently, at quarter after 12 last night, I was in first. I was long since asleep, but boy, oh boy, would that have been nice. We're going to flip to it quickly just to take a look at it. So I want to show you guys how everybody did. But what we have here is lineup study. You'll see at the top, Tom JK, 321. That is Tom Kennedy, CEO of this lovely company that I work for, taking it down. He did it with Ricky Rubio, Spencer Dinwiddie, Paul George, Tari Eason, Nick Claxton, Garland Mobley, and Dwight Powell. The best that I was able to hope for, my lineup ended up in 12th. I had Irving, Dinwiddie, Josh Green, who honestly, 22 out of Josh Green after Luka going down. Like, obviously, Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith got there, but that was the piece that I needed. Jabari Smith as well wouldn't have been a problem for me either. Nick Claxton, Paul George, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Zach Collins. So you saw, 1-800-EDDIE, another member of the C-suite here at Stokastic. There were a couple other Stokastic logos at the top as well. But yeah, I got to 12th last night. Even more importantly to me, if we just sort by top 1% lineups, which is basically my goal every night, I ended up getting, Tom got 7. We saw a couple other people did a little bit better. Friend of the program, Brick, got 9. Another Stokastic employee, Rich Green, got 7. I got 6 into the top 1%. 1-800-EDDIE got 4. It was a good day. It was a good day around these parts for Stokastic. I had the 5th best max entry day on the fadeaway last night, but unfortunately, $995, while very, very outstanding, is not quite enough to get all the way to the top and get that 100K. But shout out to Tom for getting it. If anybody's going to get it, I'm happy that it's him. I got my exposures on the right-hand side, along with Tom's. I didn't really have much Darius Garland. I didn't really have much Karis LeVert. Garland, what I would have been fine having him clearly. It went well. Happy to avoid LeVert. I just had an absolute ton of Kyrie. So that was fine by me. I didn't have as much Paul George as I wish that I would have had in the end, but that went quite well. Evan Mobley, can't complain there. But the two big pieces for me, I didn't have any Luka at 26%. And I it was half the field on Josh Christopher. I didn't get to Alec Burks, unfortunately. Tom Kennedy in the house, too. Good to see. Good to see. Tom, why are you awake, man? It is so early for you right now. What are you doing? Couldn't sleep? Celebrating? If we look at the top here for Tom, though, incredibly, highest exposed player, Josh Christopher, was really bad. 54% Luka Doncic for 1.25 fantasy points per minute. But all it takes is one, or in Tom's case here, still got 7 into the top 150. So even playing with basically half a deck last night, still was able to put in 7 lineups into the top 150 with 54% of his lineups dead on arrival with Luka Doncic. Love to see it, though. Just an absolute fantastic day for everyone at Stokastic. There's really not any way to say it. The logos were all over the top. Tom, don't be mad at me. Evidently, I have not switched my DraftKings logo, so it was still the Awesome-O logo. I will get that done today. Apparently, I only changed FanDuel. What happened to the center rotation? They sat Isaiah Stewart for the first time in 100 games. They sat Killian Hayes for the first time in weeks upon weeks upon weeks. They put that lineup out like assholes 2 minutes before lock. Curious to see. Tom, did you end up with any Burks? Okay, so Tom ended up with 6% Burks. I saw this earlier. If you pay attention and you get your process locked up, you can do things that maybe some other people can't. I'm pointing this out, one, because he's obviously one of the best NBA DFS players on the planet. But two, this is what happens when you know your process and you can make changes quickly. Petty basically broke even yesterday. Petty theft, for anybody that's curious. Petty theft 89, I guess, technically. I didn't even realize there was an 89 at the end of it. With 3 minutes to spare, or whenever that Burks news came out, Petty got to 85% Alec Burks. That's incredible to me for him to be able to make that happen so quickly. So there are levels to this game, and for him to be able to make that move so quickly in 3 minutes, fantastic. Crazy to see. I spotted that earlier this morning. Couldn't believe that I didn't think that you can get to a number like that quickly. It was gross. But that's where we're at. So, like I said, we have to be out of here by 7:30. So I appreciate having you guys here now. We're going to move quick, or at least as quickly as I possibly can. Let's bump that screen back up. I got coffee here for you guys. Coffee is here. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to rise and grind. That's what we do here every single day. Well, at least Monday through Friday. We can't be rising and grinding on the weekends, guys. There's too much going on. But cheers to you guys. Let's have a good Friday. Let's lead into the weekend the best way we can. Maybe, just maybe, I could take Tom's spot tonight. Clink, everybody. Cheers. That right there. Some tasty coffee. Now, 2 things that we need to talk about. 1, 5 days free of Stokastic Plus NBA package. There's a link in the description. You got to be new to Stokastic, but you'll get our projections, ownership, the boom bust tool, which is going to show you target score rates and optimal rates, leverage scores. You'll get our player compare tool, so you can do 1v1s and 2v2s using all of that data. It's the questions that everybody asks us when we're on Deeper Dive and Live Before Lock. You can answer those questions for yourself using that tool. And finally, you can use our brand new lineup generator, and it's a great tool. Added a new feature yesterday, I believe, as well. If it's not yesterday, then it's going to be out shortly, but I'm pretty sure it went live yesterday. It could be a couple days. I'm bad at remembering things, but it's coming if it didn't happen. Sorry, Tom. Lineup generator. We generate thousands and thousands of lineups, and we throw all the ones that we think stink directly into the trash. We only provide you with the ones that we think grade out well. We let you sift through them. You like it, click save. You don't, click discard. Want to swap out a guy in the lineup? Go ahead. You can build them for contrarian lineups. You can build balanced lineups or chalky lineups, depending on what kind of contest you're getting in. You can now lock a player if you want, and then start going through some of the lineups. So much going on here at Stokastic. Why not come check it all out for a 5-day free trial? Link in the description. Finally, shout out to BetMGM for being the sponsor of this show. We're going to talk about them later, right before we run some crunches. But for now, we're going to go ahead and do the work. Here we go. Let's change the screen. And actually, let me just do one quick thing here. Okay. I got a text message, and I didn't know what screen it was going to pop up on, and I did not need you guys to see any sort of text message I get in the morning, but it ended up being something that didn't matter. My health and wellness gym billed me for today. Toasted Biscuits, what's up? Jay and Zook, let me look at this. Do I need to load projections from Stokastic to FC, or does it load automatically? Loads automatically. In the dropdown, it'll say Stokastic projections. All right, here we go. Because we got to move. Milwaukee Bucks, 8-point favorites in Indiana. 237 total for the Bucks. Giannis is probable. We have no Bobby Portis. Marshawn Beauchamp and AJ Green are both questionable. So we're getting basically exactly what we expected to get this past Wednesday, other than the fact that we don't totally know what Chris Middleton's going to be able to play, but it's certainly not the 24 minutes that I projected him for last week or on Wednesday. I'm going to go to 18. They are clearly babying him on the way back. 34 minutes for Drew looks fine to me. I got 32 in for Giannis. For the most part, that makes me feel okay. Just out of curiosity, did he play any sort of weird rotations? He played 31, probably lost a minute to the game being over, so that's 32. Picked up 2 fouls there. Did he have a third? Yeah, foul trouble in the second quarter probably cost him another 2 minutes. I'll go to 33 on Giannis. Brook Lopez in for 31. I feel totally fine there. Pat Connaughton's minutes, I need to just officially bump up quite a bit further. I'm going to get him up to that 31 mark. That takes me to 240, so I don't really have much other wiggle room there, but we do have to pay close attention. 28 for Grayson Allen seems fine. I got 15 for Javon Carter. Might be a tad high. I got Joe Ingles in for 24. I did have Beauchamp in for 13, so I got to take those away. We'll just give those directly to Wes Matthews. Take one away from Wes Matthews and get Ingles up to 25. I have Jordan Nwora in for 13. Conceivably, that could take another minute away from Ingles, but I don't know if I want to go to 26. I'm thinking I probably should, though. We'll go 26 to Ingles. Rates, not going to have to change those. This is all based on Giannis and Middleton and Holiday all being in. These have all been changed for the most recent slate. So I don't have any real updates that I need to make to Milwaukee. This is pretty standard Milwaukee fare for right now. Pacers, I'm sure, are a pain in the ass for today. Yep, absolutely. No Halliburton still, unfortunately. Andrew Nembhard, questionable. Aaron Nesmith, questionable. Miles Turner, questionable. The good news is everybody's in my projections right now. Bad news is it could all get blown up because we haven't had Nembhard. We didn't have Nembhard on the back-to-back Tuesday, Wednesday. Maybe one extra day of rest is going to help out here. We got Jalen Smith not playing. And then looks like there was probably 2 minutes of like center garbage time for Indy on Wednesday, if I'm reading that correctly. Brissett didn't play that Tuesday, came back for Wednesday. It's just a really irritating rotation clear across the board here. As I look at the Pacers, yes. Okay, so the final 23 seconds was played without Turner on the floor. And then It looks like there was a little stretch of time in the middle of the fourth. So they're basically going to split Miles Turner and Isaiah Jackson for all intents and purposes. So I'm going to go to that 31-17 split. I know that we didn't really get that. It's good. Turner played 33 and a half. Isaiah Jackson played 12 and a half. That's 46 minutes. They played 2 minutes without them. I'll take 1 minute away from Jackson, go to 16. Terry Taylor played for both of those games. Now, they both didn't include Andrew Nembhard. I don't know if he's going to be long for it. Trevelyan Queen also got basically one rotation and then never saw the floor in both of those games. I'm okay with 33 minutes for TJ McConnell. If you wanted to go to 34, that would be very reasonable. I'm more than okay with 31 for Mathurin, even if Nembhard is back. 28 for Nembhard seems actually a little high. Maybe I'll take a minute away from Nembhard there. Buddy Hield for 33. You can make a real case it should be 34 if Nembhard is out again, but 33 seems fine if he's in. Neesmith played 14. He's got the Q tag on him. I am going to knock him down to 26. He's a guy that I get too much. And then I'm going to bump O'Shea Brissett back up to 18 and let Terry Taylor just soak up the final 5. All the rates stay the same. No changes that need to be made because it's the same rotation that I had. I got Chris Duarte in for 20. That's just an assumption that Nembhard is back. If Nembhard is out again, then Duarte's minutes are going to go back up. Ooh, I got to make one change quickly, although it is very minor. There we go. All right, so evaluating Indy. Yeah, here's the problem. If everybody's in, I think Buddy Hield is in a really nice spot. TJ McConnell at 6,500 still looks great. Mathurin off the bench, Miles Turner, Aaron Neesmith. You can roll the dice on a $3,200 Isaiah Jackson, assuming that any foul trouble for Miles Turner creates an Isaiah Jackson situation. And if you want to get real squirrely, you can take a shot on someone like O'Shea Brissett at the flat 3K. He's a 0.8 fantasy point per minute guy, but Isaiah Jackson's a 1.1 guy in my baseline model. That's very, very viable on a day like today. There's actually a case to be made that I need to put in Isaiah Jackson's usage rate. No, I don't. 18's fine. Nembhard, I probably don't want to go to even if he's in. Chris Duarte, you probably don't want to go to unless everybody's out. The Milwaukee side is really going to be a curious one for me. The $4,100 Pat Connaughton is the guy that I think is most interesting. If you want to go to Drew or Giannis, by all means. I think Drew is probably a hair overpriced. Although if Middleton's only playing 18 minutes a game, it's probably appropriately priced. 11-5 Giannis against the Pacers is always going to look good, but it's a big price tag. And I don't totally trust his minutes right now. Brook Lopez at 5,800. I think he was 6,100 on Wednesday. So that price tag actually looks a little bit better. Take your shots on Grayson Allen, Joe Ingles. Perfectly reasonable. It should come as no surprise that this Milwaukee-Indiana game is interesting. 237 total. But that's one in the books. Go to number 2, Memphis Grizzlies. 3-point favorites in Minnesota. We know how these teams like to battle coming out of the playoffs last year. I'd like to keep talking, but that would stop me from drinking coffee. I got to get this coffee down as fast as possible so that this caffeine hits me when I get to the gym. So good. So good. All right, let's talk Grizzlies because we know that we don't have Steven Adams. Q tag on Desmond Bane for today, right knee soreness. That scares me at least a little bit. That's not really going to be all that actionable. Good news for us today, though. 7 o'clock start, 7:30 start, 2 games at 8, and then one final game, late night hammer at 10, Toronto Golden State. We should have a lot of news pretty early. So you're not going to have to screw around too much. It's harder if you boof it. Yeah, there we go. That'll go well. So I don't get the sense that I'm going to have much to change here for Memphis. Although Wednesday we did get that Brandon Clark start which I thought made sense. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go to Tillman here, but I think we have to treat it like, did they split it? That's really the bigger question. 45.5. Was that Triple J? So Clark was in. Tillman checked in. Straight subs for each other in the first half. The end of the third quarter, they went Morant, Bane, Triple J, Aldama, Tyus Jones. Okay. So we got to be willing to give at least 1 minute to Triple J. I think we're going to have to assume that it's Brandon Clark, but we need to be very ready to think that it could be Tillman. I think they're going to be, this is going to be more matchup based. Just out of curiosity, I don't think they're going to go to Tillman in this spot. I think we're going to get Clark. I'm going to go 28 to Clark. Man, that feels like it might be too high. No, I mean, look, he played standard starter minutes against Golden State. This is a real game. I'm going to go to 28 on Brandon Clark. It's going to probably look problematic. I'm going to go to 18 on Tillman, and I'm going to say Jaren Jackson goes in for 2. Keeps his 28 minutes, though. We did see a slight bump to Santi Aldama, so I'll give him that extra minute. I got 33 in for Ja. I'm okay with that. He has played at least 33 in his last 4, sort of. Seems fine. Bane for 32. Again, makes me a little nervous. 30 for Brooks, but I expect in competitive games, that's what we're going to see out of these guys. David Roddy did not play as much. Don't really know what to do with that sort of information. Think he needs to just maintain those minutes. Feeling okay here. I guess I could probably bump up 2 more to Zaire Williams. We'll go to 21 and 9 here for Roddy. Rates all stay the same, obviously. Then we go to Minnesota. Morning, some guy. Minnesota. Q tag on Gobert. I think we've heard that one before. No Towns, no Prince, and no Jordan McLaughlin. I am assuming that I'm not making like a single change here. I can turn those 5 Bryn Forbes minutes into Matt Ryan minutes. I thought I had Matt Ryan on this team, and apparently I don't. Do I still have him? Do I still have him on the Lakers? That's going to be annoying. I don't want to change this filter just to give 5 minutes to Matt Ryan, and I'm certainly not going to do that. Who am I missing? It is Matt Ryan, I guess. Yeah, I still have him on the Lakers, I'm guessing. So let's fix that problem. Yep, still on the Lakers. Boop, fixed. Hard to care about some of these guys that like don't matter. Those are the fixes that I don't make the moment like somebody gets cut. But easy fix. We'll get back to Minnesota. We'll give Matt Ryan those minutes. I don't want him to feel bad, just in case he's watching. Sorry, Matt Ryan, for not caring about your status. I'm going to continue to go to 32 minutes on Gobert. I think you can conceivably go more, but that also would be a little aggressive for somebody that's had these perpetual Q tags. I got Naz Reid in there. I got Nathan Knight in there. Knight really wasn't a part of that game on Wednesday, so maybe we undo that. Although he did play that first quarter rotation. Picked up 2 fouls in 2 minutes, and then they just didn't go back to it. So they really were only going to play Knight, and they only played Naz Reid and Nathan Knight alongside of each other for 2 minutes, and then they never went back to it. Otherwise, it was just a straight center split. So if I go 32-16, Gobert and Reid, I feel like they're still going to go back to something like that. So I'm going to split 17 minutes between Matt Ryan. Let's get the rest of these guys. Russell in for 33. Has played massive minutes the last 2. I'm actually going to bump him back up to 34. Take 1 away from Jalen Noel. I got 36 for Edwards. Seems like he's back into that 37 a game range. 24 for Rivers. That's just where he sits. Jaden McDaniels, because you expect this one to be a competitive matchup, and this is a real one. So I think you're going to get the main guys as much as possible. 32 for McDaniels, 32 for Slow-Mo. So now I have 16 minutes to split between Nathan Knight and Matt Ryan, and I'm just going to go 8 and 8. So we're going to go 8 to Ryan, 8 to Knight. Create a little bit of a split for Naz Reid, because it seems like they're willing to play Naz Reid and Nathan Knight together. So that's where we'll stand. Again, rates all stay the same. This is the same stuff that we just had. These have all been pulled recently. So for Minnesota, I love Rudy Gobert at 6,400. And I think there's even some meat on the bone there, because I got him in for 32 minutes, and we've seen 34.5 and 35.5 over the past couple games. Any starter, then you're rolling the dice. Edwards, Russell, McDaniels, Kyle Anderson all look very, very similar relative to salary. I think Jalen Noel is a little bit more interesting than Austin Rivers, but at the same time, you're also likely to get like 14 minutes out of Jalen Noel, and he will not matter. Whereas at least Rivers is going to play 24. The problem is Austin Rivers is one of the worst permanent fantasy guys in the league. Let's see. How bad is he? Where does he actually rank? Because I know it's at the bottom. That goes without saying. Austin Rivers, in my model, is the 4th worst per minute fantasy performer in basketball. Congratulations, Austin. I'm sure your dad's proud. Now, for Memphis, obviously the Bane news is massive. If Bane ends up out, then Ja looks better at 10K. Dillon Brooks looks a bit better at 4,600. I mean, Dillon Brooks for 4,600 with shooting guard small forward eligibility on a 5-gamer. That's a guy that can win you a GPP, because he doesn't care that Ja Morant's on his team. Brandon Clark for 4,900. Assuming he's starting with that power forward eligibility, I'd be shocked if he's not the most, like, we might see different news. I don't know what's about to come. I expect Brandon Clark to be, if we knew Brandon Clark was starting right now, my assumption is he's like one of the top owned plays of the day, and it won't even be close. Getting the power forward eligibility at 4,900 for a guy that's over a fantasy point per minute guy to begin with, never a doubt. Never a doubt. And then I will always like Jaren Jackson Jr. for 6,600. See, guys, we got to talk about this right now. And I wish I had more time to really break this down. But first thing that I see is Never Brooks, Dylan Bricks as of late. We got to remember that guys have salaries. And it's the most important part of all of this. Dylan Brooks is 4,800. Or was 4,800 in his last game. He's 4,600 today. This is a guy that was 5,900 on the 11th. I assume so. This is back when Bane was out, but we're talking about a guy that was in the 6s and 7s today this year. His price is at its floor. Now is the time to buy Dillon Brooks, because 2 weeks ago, Dillon Brooks is the same guy that plays today. Will be projected in the exact same way, but now you get the cost efficiency of Dillon Brooks. It's worth it. It's very, very, very worth it. I think he's going to look really interesting just because of the flexibility. Not a lot to like here, though, for the rest of this team. So that's 2 games down. We got to get through these final 3 and run crunches in 30 minutes. I actually might be able to do this. Yes, his performance is why they're lower. That's a good thing, because performance doesn't, your opinions of these players don't matter over a 2-week span. That is not how we evaluate basketball talent. Dillon Brooks is not a different basketball player today than he was 2 weeks ago. He's the same exact projected guy, essentially. But now you save an extra $1,000 by playing him today. But we'll get people that are just like, can't play Dillon Brooks. It's like, well, what's his salary? Because if Dillon Brooks was the flat 3K, everybody would play him and they wouldn't even bat an eye at it. You wouldn't say anything. It's the calibration of your thought process here for price. Oh, if Bane is out, that's a completely different story. If Bane is out, we don't even have the conversation. He's going to join Brandon Clark and be one of the 2 highest owned guys on the day. Israel, I tweeted about it last night. I said that I was fading him for the first time in ages, and I was probably going to destroy me, and then he played for a minute. All right, OKC, 7.5-point dogs in Miami, 217 total. This is going to be a game that's going to win somebody a GPP, and it's going to look like shit. Yes, Ross. That would be correct. All right, let's look at the Thunder. No Dort, no JRE, no Poku. Okay, no Dort is interesting to me. Because they've had the same starters in here for a minute now. Huh. I mean, they haven't. Giddy, Dort, Williams, and SGA haven't missed a game in ages. When was the last time Dort missed a game? Dort game log. Fast ref. Dort last missed a game. I mean, he hasn't missed a game since the 17th of December. Giddy started, Shea started, Jalen Williams started. They started JRE and Poku, so both of those guys are out. I don't have a great feel for who's going to start here. Let's get Dort's minutes out of there. They might start Isaiah Joe. In fact, I think they're going to start Isaiah Joe. And just get that shooting out there. I'm going to go 26 minutes up to Isaiah Joe. We're going to keep SGA and Trey Mann where they normally are. 35 and back up, and then I'm going to add more to Trey Mann for what I have left. But I'm interested to see that Isaiah Joe fit. He's good. Philly made a mistake there. Muscala's minutes look fine. Jalen Williams with a Y didn't play on Wednesday, which generally means he'll play today and probably play bigger minutes. Ousmane Dieng got back in it. Omer Yuri and Lindy Waters might be with the G League team, at least as of right now. Let's see. OKC. Oh, I'm a moron. 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 Oh, or I read Orlando as OKC. This is not OKC at Miami. When I saw the 7.5-point line, I was like, holy shit, that's really big. I didn't think the gap was going to be that big between those teams. Orlando plays Miami. Cleveland is at OKC. We're going to stop looking at OKC for a second. We're going to go to Orlando and keep this order going. And right, Larry, thank you. I noticed it the same moment you typed it. Orlando, 7.5-point dogs in Miami, 217 total. This is the game that's going to win somebody a GPP, even though it's going to look like garbage. Whew, I was projecting two different games. That's a new one for me. All right, Chuma Okeke, the only guy that's out for Orlando. Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, I'm going to keep in. Like, when they can get a competitive game, these guys are playing a little bit more. I'm going to stick to 32 because I get them all the time. You know, I feel like I got to go to 33, but at the same time, I don't want to hitch my wagon to these guys, but I like going there. Wendell Carter in for 30. I got Fultz in for 29. I'm going to go to 30 on Fultz. I'm going to keep 30 on Wendell Carter. Mo Wagner's playing about 14. Maybe John Isaac got his crisp 8 this past time out. I got him in for 10. I'm going to go 33 to Paolo. I'm going to go 33 to Franz. Terrence Ross is just not a part of this rotation any longer. I got Suggs for 16. We got Gary Harris for 24. I can make that 25 and it won't change anything. Got Cole Anthony in for 24. I guess they go to Bamba. Bamba played 12 on Wednesday. Are they real? Mohamed Bamba. Sorry, I can't do that song right now. Yeah, Bamba played a legit rotation. Well, they went to Mo Wagner first half, Bamba second half. That's always great to see. So maybe we'll go 9 and 9 to Mo Wagner and Mo Bamba. Did they play alongside each other? Bamba, Wagner, Carter. Nope. Straight 48. Good to know. Leaves me 5 minutes. Don't have a great feel for where those are going to go. I can't even see where they go. It's not Bowl. I got Mo Wagner projected for more. I got Suggs projected for the right amount. Isaac to me is right. They're technically just spillover minutes, so I'm just going to leave them on Ross. I have no rates to change. These guys could look good, but the total of this game is going to tank everything. On the Miami end, I think I saw somebody was out for Miami today. Nope. Basically everybody in. Butler in. Martin probable. Strus probable. Highsmith probable. This is actually a pretty easy fix then. Don, I don't know how true any of that is, other than you're in Florida. Paolo's been playing more as of late. Wagner's been playing more as of late. Fultz plays 30 minutes every single game. They've got the minutes to go around. Okay. We're going to go 34 and 14 for Bam and for Orlando Robinson. I got 31 minutes in for Kyle Lowry. I'm going to make that 30. That'll get me 18 for Gabe Vincent. Seymour, what about Bull? Tyler Hero has played 35 and 36 over the past two. I'm leaving him in for 35. This is a guy that was playing massive minutes earlier. I think now that after he missed those games, he's just going to be back to it. Oladipo is probably too many at 30. We'll take that down to 28. Max Strus obviously comes down from 28. Caleb Martin, I'm going to go to 28. Got to get Jimmy Butler in for 33, like he kind of normally does in a competitive matchup. That leaves me 20. Those 20 are going to go to Max Strus. Unfortunately, we got to grab rates, and we're going to want to do it quickly. Do I think Gabe Vincent should start over Kyle Lowry? Let's see here. Vince Carter. No. And I don't think it's close, but they should also not keep Kyle Lowry. I think they should try, if they could get off of Lowry, they should do that quickly. But I'm not a huge Gabe Vincent guy. I think he's a great backup guard. I don't think that he's any sort of guy that you should be trying to start basketball games with. He's not good. He's great because he's free. That's really the easiest way to say it. All right, Bam out of box. We got to grab these rates. So in games for Miami where Lowry started, Butler started, Bam started, and Hero started. Probably enough of a sample at this point. Yeah, 20 games. When all four of those guys start, Bam's got a 25% usage rate. Caleb Martin in those games has a 14% usage rate. Jimmy Butler is at 24.5. Kyle Lowry is at 15.5. Woof. Tyler Hero, 660 minutes, 25.5. And then Victor Oladipo, 245 minutes, right around 18. All right, so we're good there. We need to grab assist rates now. Bam, not that guy. Caleb Martin, Certainly not that guy. Jimmy Butler, normal. Kyle Lowry, down a bit. Tyler Hero, down quite a bit. Victor Oladipo, up quite a bit. Hit that like button, by the way, Smokey. I appreciate that reminder. And we get Bam in very, very, very reduced rebounding for Bam because Tyler Hero is much more of a rebounder. It's interesting to see. That's schematic more than anything else, I would imagine. Kyle Lowry, everything else here is fine. So that's going to be Miami. We did Orlando. So as we look at Miami, I love Tyler Hero for 6,900. That did not work out well on Tuesday with Butler out. That's still the wrong price. Point guard, shooting guard works. If Jimmy Butler had the correct positional eligibility, that would be really helpful. There's just no reason that he should be only power forward. It makes very little sense to me. However, it's what we're dealing with. He looks great though. Like I'm gonna have a bunch of Jimmy Butler today. Bam, Lowry, Martin, Oladipo, all viable. Can't go to Strus or Vincent. For Orlando, nobody really looks that great. You can work your way through Franz, Paolo, Fulton, Carter, maybe a little Cole Anthony. Paolo Banchero for 7K would be my favorite option. Not a lot of priorities for Orlando. I am not upset about that because of that total. Now, we're going to sneak our way back over to Cleveland, who are 1.5 point favorites in OKC, 222 total. I'm going to go with the same rotation we got yesterday. Donovan Mitchell obviously missed yesterday's game, as did Kevin Love. I'm going to assume that we get the exact same scenario that we got for yesterday. Maybe you get Love on the back end. I don't expect that we're going to get Donovan Mitchell here. I think that he's just going to sit out both games. The late scratch, I don't want to say scratch, but like the late rule out of Mitchell was interesting to me. I think he's a little bit closer than it seems. It just doesn't feel like a scenario where he's going to be playing today. So I'm going to leave him out for now. We don't really know the status. I assume we're not getting Ricky Rubio, which means that I think that we're going to get Raul Neto as the backup point guard to Darius Garland, a guy that I did not get to yesterday, by the way. Diakite played, but I don't get the sense that that was because of anything important. Probably because they kicked the shit out of Houston. Correct. So I'm going to take those Diakite minutes away. Allen and Mobley split everything at center until the game was over with no Kevin Love. I'm going to treat it like that happens again. We only got 35 minutes out of Allen. I think they kind of just saw where the writing was on the wall and went to those guys earlier in the fourth. Now, Dean Wade ended up playing 22 and a half minutes. He did play a little bit of garbage run. So I think I'm okay with the 16 minutes I've got in for Wade. We got 23 out of Chetty, including a chunk of garbage time. So I think we're going to get a little bit more Chetty here. We got a little bit of Lamar Stevens. Man, I'm starting to feel like Love's going to play today, but it's not the way that I want to project it. It's a back thing for Love, right? Like it's not just low back spasms. Maybe we end up putting him in. Look, when we get an injury report, we'll see. Certainly he's going to, I'm expecting Kevin Love to be questionable. So I actually do think that I need to go to Love and make this a little bit easier. So I'm going to give Kevin Love the 16 minutes that I think he normally plays. I can leave Dean Wade in for the 16 minutes he's going to play. Isaac Okoro played 25 yesterday. I'm going to leave that at 26. We got 32 out of LeVert. I'm very comfortable going back to 32 for LeVert. Only reason he didn't play anymore is because the game was over. I assume he would have closed and these guys could have played more minutes. So 32 seems fine. So I've got 16 minutes just hanging in the ether here somewhere. And I guess they're going to Chetty. And I assume that they got to go to Chetty before they go to Lamar Stevens, because Lamar Stevens didn't get on until late. So let's go ahead and get Chetty in for, I'm going to say 18. Moving this around to make sure that I get a little bit more viable visual here. I'm going to go to 18 on Chetty and then 14 for Stevens. That should be fine. Rates, though, I don't really need to change. This is updated for yesterday. Love really isn't going to change that all that much, and I got Love in for his usage. So I'm going to maintain this. 36 minutes Mobley, 34 Allen. I feel pretty... I'm going to go 35 to Mobley, 34 to Allen. I want to give that extra... If I go to 17 on Kevin Love, it might matter. We got to finish off OKC now, which I tried to do before, and we are going to be right up against it. Right up against it. I think Jalen Williams just comes back into the rotation for OKC. I also don't think it's going to matter. The extra starter is going to be the guy that really matters. I've got Kenrich Williams in for 23. That is definitely a spot that I can increase here. I think 25 is probably more likely. Maybe even 26. We'll go 26. He could end up showing up here. Ousmane Dieng, I think I could pretty safely get in there for like 12. I've got Baisley in. I've got Wiggins in. I think that we can say that Trey Mann plays a little bit more alongside of Shea. We'll get him up to 18. And then I've got 6 minutes left. I'm just going to split those between Wiggins and Baisley because I don't think that we're going to get... Yeah, I went to look that up, and that's when I figured out I was a moron. Omer Yori out, G League two-way. Waters out, G League two-way. That could get updated, but for right now, I think we're where we want to be. I assume rates actually do change with Dort out. He does soak up a little bit of usage. The problem here is that they're always there. SGA starting. Giddey starting. Jalen Williams starting. And we'll add a player filter to take off Lou Dort. I don't really care to... I don't think I need to take off JRE or Poku, but I'll judge that by their usage rates. We are running short on time, folks. Trey Mann has actually played the most amount of minutes with those guys off. That is interesting. Maybe I want to give him a couple extra minutes. Probably not. He could start. I think it's Joe, though. Isaiah Joe, 17% usage rate. Nothing crazy there. Jalen Williams, without the Y, is around 18. Josh Giddey is at 24, so he doesn't change. Kenrich Williams is at 14, so he doesn't really change. Shea, 263 minutes with Dort off. He's at 38% usage. Can I... let's just say that in that scenario, Josh Giddey is on. What is Shea's usage rate when Giddey is on but Dort is off? They played 65 minutes. Okay, that makes more sense. It's still 36. This is going to be a really big usage bump for Shea. Now, I'm going to go to 34 just to pump the brakes a bit. But if it's 36, I'm going to go to 35. Because if it's that high with Dort off, with Giddey on, he's still going to play. Like, they're never going to be on the floor together today. So that's going to be a lot of usage to Shea today, I think. That is really wild. Trey Mann might be live for more minutes than I'm giving him today. I'm going to get him up to 20. I don't trust it right now. We'll take one away from both Wiggins and the other guy. Usage rates, assist rates. Giddey just sort of handles the ball a little bit more. Shea handles the ball a little bit more. Rebounding, I'm not really going to stress about. Shooting rates, I'm not really going to stress about. So that's going to be OKC. We've done Cleveland. For OKC, wow, I thought it was going to look even more extreme than that. It doesn't. I guess that's what, 222 total. Look, we've got 237 totals. That's 15 less points. I thought Shea was going to look even better, but he's going to be my preferred pay-up option for sure. Let's see. Toronto, Golden State. Yeah, I assume Shea is my preferred pay-up option. But if I'm right and Isaiah Joe gets increased minutes here, and I expect him to, he's going to look really, really good. 26 minutes of Isaiah Joe. He's not a big usage guy, but he's an incredible shooter. So I think just getting him extra minutes is going to be good here. Williams and Giddey are all fine. Both Williams, Kenrich and Jalen are fine. And then Trey Mann, flat 3K. If you think he's going to be there, go for it. For Cleveland, assuming Love in and obviously Donovan Mitchell out, Garland, Mobley, Allen, LeVert. You get free reign to jam those guys in, but 6K Jared Allen looks incredible. Center's pretty loaded again today. All right, final game, Toronto and Golden State. Cross your fingers, guys. This is just standard rotations. Toronto, fully healthy. Great. Van Vliet, Trent, Anunoby, Siakam, Barnes. We might actually not have to make a single change here for Toronto. I got Van Vliet in for 37. Feel like I should make it 36, but it is a matchup against Golden State, so I think you'd see it. Trent for 37, sure. Anunoby for 37. Ooh, okay. Feel like that should be 36. Gonna take one away. They went back down to this like ultra tiny lineup again. Malachi Flynn not playing and shit. Scotty Barnes in for 36. I'm gonna make Barnes 37 actually. Anunoby 36. Siakam in for 38. Precious Achiuwa in for 24. That's going to become 26. Boucher I got in for 16. That's going to become 19. Now I think I got the right rotation here. Juancho in for 10. Rates don't change. Love, I assume we're going to really like Toronto today, as I normally do. Golden State, final one here. We've got Q-tag on Andrew Wiggins. No Iggy. So we got Steph in for 35. Looks fine. We got Jordan Poole in for 35. Definitely want to bring that down a little bit. I'm going to go to 33 there on Poole. I got 33 for Clay. That seems fine. We got 32 for Wiggins, assuming he is in. That might be a tad high. I'm going to take him down to 31. I got Draymond in for 33. That looks fine. Decent enough spot for Looney. But seems like he's just playing about 21 minutes a game. Kuminga is just in now, which I'm not surprised by. So I got him up to 22. Even Chenzo, I definitely need to give a bit of a bump to. Although I don't totally see where I'm going to get those minutes from. Technically, I guess they got to come from Lamb. Man, I guess DiVincenzo's real boosts have come with Wiggins out. Yeah, I'm going to go up to 26 on DiVincenzo. We'll get one rotation out of Lamb. This is another situation where I don't really feel like I need to play with the rates. But at the same time, I do need to get Kuminga's usage rate locked in. So in games where Steph starts, Clay starts, Draymond starts, and Poole starts. I should have actually said Wiggins here over Poole. Still 6 minutes. That's fine. Kuminga, 121 minutes. 21% usage rate. Okay, so he seems to maintain this. I'm just going to add Wiggins, and we're going to say at least 4 of those 5 guys starting. That should give me a better idea of Kuminga. No Kuminga. Okay. Playing 24 and a half, 25 minutes a game. Actually, I'm going to give him even more here. I'm going to go to 23. Kuminga, 354 minutes. Okay, 18.5% usage rate. I'm going to go to 19. That should make him look a little bit better. DiVincenzo is at 15.5. Actually does become incredibly problematic right now. Who do I got to cut here? Steph's at 29.5. Clay's at 26. Looney. Why is this not in order? Looney. Is that 10? Poole, 27. That can come down 1. Minga in for 19. Draymond Green in for 12.5. Yeah. DiVincenzo for 15. Wiggins for 22. 21.5. Oh, man. Where do I free that up? If I take it off of Looney and Draymond, that mostly gets and Dante DiVincenzo. That probably gets me to where I need to be. Yeah. We're going to go that direction. The rest of the rates are going to stay the same. Golden State. I like Clay the most at 6,500. You get that shooting guard, small forward eligibility. I don't think that these guys look all that great, but Curry, Green, Poole, Clay, Wiggins if he's in, and Kuminga for 4K are the guys that I think are basically interchangeable. And then on Toronto, I think we know what we're going to see here. Yeah. $4,200 Precious Achiuwa. Add him to the list of centers you need to have. Shit, at 727. Siakam, Trent, Barnes, Anunoby all look fantastic. Van Vliet as well. You're going to get to this game a ton. Boucher worth the value. We need to run some crunches as fast as we possibly can. Before we run those crunches, however, BetMGM is the sponsor for you guys. 2 free months of Stokastic Plus Platinum. As long as you're clicking the link below this video in the description, you'll also get up to $1,000 in first bet insurance. If you don't want to click the link, scan the QR code that's on the screen right now. You got to be 21 or over for this bad boy. Please be responsible, folks. If you've got a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, FanDuel Crunch. Appreciate you guys being here. Sorry we got to move so quick. This is going to be a one-time thing, but it's just how the gym worked out for today. But let's go ahead and get these crunches run. No way I'm leaving you guys without crunches. I will be late if I need to. First up, it's going to be FanDuel Optimals. FanDuel Optimal, 307.96. That's the optimal by 0.09. Isaiah Joe, TJ McConnell, Drew Holiday. Didn't expect to see that. Benedict Mathurin, Tyler Hero, LeVert, Mobley, Clark, and Gobert. This slate looks really difficult because there's a couple names that I expected to see there that just aren't there. Power rankings on FanDuel. Assuming Brandon Clark is the starter, he is the runaway, unequivocal number 1 play for today on FanDuel. Not even remotely close. And I think he's got a better price on DraftKings. After that, it's Karis LeVert, Evan Mobley, TJ McConnell, Isaiah Joe, Garland, Slow-Mo, D'Angelo Russell, Brooke Lopez, and Scotty Barnes. I'm actually pretty excited for this slate now. This could break. I'm excited to play this slate. I think it looks hard, but I like the way that it looks because I think that sets up well for me and where I'm at right now. It also leaves me out to like be very different and get wrecked. So we'll see where that goes. Optimal lineups on DraftKings. 293.65. This is the optimal by 0.47. TJ McConnell, Anthony Edwards, Aaron Nesmith, Brandon Clark, Rudy Gobert, Tyler Hero, Mobley, and Allen. Didn't expect to see Nesmith there. Really hope that goes away. Don't want that to continue one bit. Power rankings on DraftKings, and then we are scrambling, folks. 182 people in here, by the way. Great to see you. 58 likes. You guys should be embarrassed with yourselves. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't done it already. That's 130 people sitting in here not liking what is, and I mean this sincerely, the best thing that exists in DFS. I love the strategy show. I love the deeper dive. Fantastic shows. Nobody's getting up at 6:30 to give you guys the goods like I am. I don't ask for much other than a click on that thumbs up. Power rankings on DraftKings. Buddy Hield sneaking into the top spot, but understand this is flat. Hield, Gobert, TJ McConnell, Anthony Edwards, Brandon Clark, Hero, LeVert, Butler, Allen, Garland, and I might as well just say Mobley. Most of the Cavs looking the same. That is not what I was expecting at all. Shouts to Buddy Hield, though. Playing big minutes as of late. 6,100. Price went down after going for 42. He's gone for 40 in his last 3. If you get 40 out of Buddy Hield, you got to have him today. Guys, that is going to do it. We are done here, folks. I got to pack it up and get out of here. I'm back for the strategy show at 10 a.m. with what I assume is Adam. I can't imagine it's going to be somebody else. Contenders videos are going to be after the strategy show like they normally are on a Friday. Good luck today, folks. Thank you for being here. I got to get out of here. This was The Process.